Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It's my pleasure to visit with you this morning. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time, 8 o'clock Central, to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, and to support each of you. Our goal today is, as illustrated on the shared screen, to talk about some of our special loan programs. So let's step back and talk big picture, and then we'll dive into this. What you and I do as technical advisors, that's what we're categorized as, is we help small businesses access capital. And we do that through a three-prong approach. We help them build their financial literacy so they can see themselves and their businesses through the lenses of the lenders and extenders of credit, and that's sorely needed. Secondly, we help them build a lender-compliant loan package so they have the documentation like business plans and financial projections needed for many types of capital. And then third, what you and I do as technical advisors is we help them become credible enough on paper to get approved. Now, what that means can differ based upon the source or sources of capital that a client is pursuing. So it's very, very, very important to always remember that there are a nearly infinite number of sources of capital, and each have their own underwriting criteria. So in other words, we shouldn't assume that just because someone enrolls in the Access to Capital program, which is the offering you and I make available, that everyone will qualify for all types of funding. It's not realistic. But what we do know, and we promise in writing contractually, is that we'll work with every participant to raise at least $100,000. So in summary, the sources of capital, the type of funding that one client qualifies for and accesses could very well be different than the next. So it's not a one size fits all when it comes to where does the funding come from. But it is a consistent promise, a guarantee, a commitment that we have to work with every client to raise at least $100,000 to start or grow a business. So with that being said, let's dig into some of these special loan programs. We do want to first answer the very simple question, because often we get this question of, okay, what do I do? It's really, really simple. We provide everyone a free landing page now. So hopefully you have your free landing page. If not, follow step number one. Go to guaranteedfunding.org. It's our nonprofit website /partners, and no cost. You can get your landing page almost instantly. You fill out the form, doesn't cost anything, and then you get an email with your link, your unique link that you would do what with? You would share that with people that are looking for capital. And we had a recent conversation, one of our morning trainings, about finding leads and all that. That's not our focus today. So today we're not talking about why you should become an affiliate or how to get leads or that. None of that. We're simply going through some of the more unique business loan programs that are available to our participants that maybe you weren't aware of. This is not intended to be an all-exhaustive underwriting matrix of each of these. So don't expect that. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is highlighting some of the unique special business loan programs that are available. And then what you would do is get your landing page. If you don't have it, refer those folks to the landing page. We'll take them through the financial literacy curriculum if they desire it. It's free but optional. We'll help them build their loan package, and then we'll help match them up to the right types of capital based on their unique circumstances. So let's go ahead and look at some of these unique loan programs that maybe you didn't even know existed. But all of these obviously are true, or we wouldn't talk about it. Now, as you know, the three of us that formed our model all came from the SBA. And the SBA is typically not the lender, they're typically the guarantor. So we're usually working through a given bank or financial institution to access what's commonly referred to as SBA loans. Furthermore, what you and I know is that the SBA has a number of different loan programs. So it would be wrong to infer that every SBA loan funds in 24 hours. That is not true. But there are some types of SBA loans, which we call the working capital loans or working capital financing, that does in fact fund in 24 hours. This one, we have a special bank relationship. So we have simplified underwriting. They do not require bank statements, and that's surprising for an SBA loan. And they do not require tax returns. And so that's great for our clients that may not have been so prompt or current in filing their taxes. So this is a unique type of funding that maybe you weren't aware of. So there's other types of SBA loans. So I'm not saying that all SBA loans that work this way, but this is one type of SBA financing that's available. And if you know anyone that might benefit from it, what do? You get your landing page and you refer those people to your landing page. All right, so that's number one. Number two, some of you are familiar with merchant cash advances, and that's not what we do, and that's not what we're promoting, but instead you'll notice the word alternative. This is an alternative type of funding that's different from an MCA. So MCAs are often very expensive, and in many cases they're paid back daily, which offers, they can be a bit stressful for the client. So the MCA alternative loans that we have access to, first of all, it's a low interest rate, not high. So that is an advantage. It does have a 10-year repayment plan. So the payments are lower because it's stretched out over a longer period. So it's easier for the cash flow of the client. It does have simplified underwriting, and the funding literally is within hours. It can certainly be the same day, next day. So are there types of business funding that can fund very, very quickly? Absolutely. And we've already covered two of them, haven't we? There's also the third on the list here, the rapid line of credit. Now, if you understand what a line of credit is, it means it's an allocation of funds that you can pull from and use if you need. If you don't need it, it's sitting there on standby. And we're not talking about credit cards here, by the way. And so if you use it, then you'll have to pay it back, of course. If you don't use it, then there's no cost. And if you use it and you pay it back, then it frees up available line of credit again. So that's in brief terms, that's what a line of credit is, versus a term loan where it's a definitive amount that's all sent to you all at once. Lines of credit are great to have. I know for our business, we have a line of credit that we can pull from when needed. And I would recommend that all small businesses have a line of credit established. All right, so this rapid line of credit is on a 24-month revolving line. This is not to be an end-all and be-all, right? Because you don't want to confuse a line of credit with funding that you would need for longer-term purposes or larger amounts. So this only goes up to $50,000, but that can still help. It does have a simplified application process and low credit requirements. Now, when you hear us refer to low credit requirements, we're making reference to that the credit portion of the underwriting is less aggressive than traditional. So does that mean that someone that has horrible credit, that's not paying their bills on time, that's on default on everything, is going to swoop in here and get 50,000? Well, maybe, but probably not. So we're not saying that there's no credit requirements, but it is accurate to say it's low. Well, that's important, right? Because you and I often work with entrepreneurs that have credit issues. And so they might qualify for this right away, or we might be able to help them address those credit issues and get them into the line of credit very quickly. Make sense? All right, so now we're moving from the line of credit over to the rapid small business loan. So there's many types of financing and small business loans. We're talking about some specific programs here. This one is not going to be real popular because it has a small cap. It only goes up to 250,000, but this could be an initial tranche, and then other tranches of capital could follow if the client needs more. The repayment term is a little bit tighter here at 6 years, right? So if you take the dollar amount you're wanting to borrow and divide it over 72 months, you can see what the principal payment would be per month. But also this has low credit requirements. If it didn't have low credit requirements, it probably wouldn't have made this list of unique special loan programs, because there's lots of small business loans, but many of them do not have low credit requirements as this one does. Okay, so we had the rapid line of credit, the rapid small business loan, and then now we have a rapid commercial real estate funding. What you likely know, and if you don't know, you should know, is so when we're putting together the funding plan for each client that is enrolled, we need to know how much capital, how much money they're looking for, and the uses of funds, because how they're going to use it will influence where we go for the money. So for example, if we know that they're looking for commercial real estate funding, we may use this program. Again, downside is it has a relatively small cap. They'll only go up to 2 million, but not so bad for many purposes. It's a 25-year repayment, which is pretty average. 20 to 30-year repayment on real estate is pretty common. And again, the reason it's on the list is that it has low credit requirements. This one here is probably the home run that many of you have been looking for, and it's a new program. It's called the Credit Builder Business Loan. So it's specifically designed for entrepreneurs who have what? Bad credit. So this is not a personal loan. This is a business loan. So it's the real deal. But it's designed specifically for individuals that have a credit score below a 600. So now that this is available, which it's a new offering, I think you're going to find a lot of people will sign up on your page when you know that you have a variety of different funding options, including the Credit Builder Loan, which has 0% interest, easy process, quick approval, and designed for those with bad credit. So what is factual is that you and I can help any small business access a minimum of $100,000. We put that in writing, and we do that. How we get to that 100,000 will vary by client, right? Because different clients have different mitigating circumstances. So what you don't want to do is go out and promise one specific type of funding, because it may not be the right fit for them. And until they've enrolled and until we've gathered their documents and put together a funding plan, we don't know. So can you make promises such as guaranteed 100,000? Absolutely. It's going to be on your replicated site that we provide you for free. Do you want to promise them any one of these individual funding types? Absolutely not. Because it may be that they don't qualify for that individual type, or it might not be the most advantageous to them. But these are real, actual sources of funds that are available at this time. All right, so let's I'll shrink it down just a bit so we can see the whole page. Who has questions, comments, concerns? But what we're not going to do, is create some underwriting matrix for each of these, because you shouldn't be selling or promising a client any one specific type of funding, because it may or may not be the right fit for them. They may or may not qualify. Could you, in your marketing and your promotion, whether it be written or verbal, make reference to some of these unique types of programs that are available through the guaranteed funding program? Sure. That's factual and that's accurate. All right, so who has questions regarding how to get your landing page? or how to enroll clients once you have your landing page. Anyone have any questions? All right, Samuel's asking about some clients that he has currently in the mix, and could they be considered for any of these? Absolutely. So what we need to do with each client, Samuel and everyone else, is we need to gather information. We call that the documents that we collect from them. We provide a Dropbox that they upload those into, and then we present that file to our funding committee. Our funding committee, normally, with the holidays, it could be a little askew, but normally our funding committee meets Wednesday evenings and Saturday mornings. So, for instance, if you were to enroll a client today, we can work with them and get them in front of the funding committee as soon as Saturday. So it's based upon that data that we gather from them. And there's a long list, but it's not all or nothing, right? It just says if applicable. And so then from there, we can create a plan. So we've changed the implementation process to be better, to be faster, and to improve client fundability, whereby when they come in now, they get sent an Adobe. That's called Building Your Loan Package. It's 2 pages. The second page provides immediate access to the financial literacy curriculum. It's optional but valuable. The first page lists the documents that we're looking for and gives them very specific instructions. All right, so we have someone asking for a landing page, so let's go back. How do you get your free landing page? Number one, let me make it larger. And this is always my fault, never your fault, the listener. How do you get a free landing page? Right here. And then what do you do when you have a landing page? Right here, refer people to it, get paid. Okay, who else has questions? Thank you for those questions. So going back to the prior question before, how to get a landing page. So if you have clients, because I probably didn't give a clear answer. So if you have clients that are already enrolled, what you need to do is make sure that they have populated the Dropbox that we've assigned to them if you're a white label partner. If you're an affiliate, you really don't have any implementation responsibilities. You can just certainly have them either schedule a call with us or follow the instructions, which is sent to them on the Building Your Loan Package Adobe, the 2-page I just described. But yeah, so clients that are currently enrolled, we can review their files and see which of these might meet their needs. We're hoping to start massive enrollment in this Credit Builder loan. This is a new resource, and this is going to meet the needs of a lot of small businesses, And yes, startups qualify. All right, great questions. Who else has questions, comments, concerns on how, I guess, again, how to get your landing page, how to refer people to it, what it is that you and I do. And we had a recent training that broke down specifically how it is we can guarantee the 100,000. So you could back and refer to that if you need. If you need leads, we had a recent training on that. And I emailed each of you this morning. I came in early, got up at 3:30 this morning to get all this ready for you today. So I emailed each of you this page, and I emailed you links to 3 of the most recent trainings in case you missed those, so you can make sure you understand how to get leads if you need them. That's one of the 3. How in the world we can guarantee anyone 100,000. So those are 2 of the 3 trainings that I sent you the links to just this morning. If you're signed up as an affiliate, you should have received that email this morning. And if you don't see it, you can either let us know, but most likely just check your filters. All right, so who has questions, comments, concerns? What you do is you get paid. You get paid a lot of money for doing hardly any work. That's a pretty good proposition, by helping small business owners get 100,000 or more guaranteed, no upfront cost, of course, to start or grow a business. How do you do that? Get your free landing page. And then what do? Refer people to it. All right, so who has any questions, comments, concerns that I can help you with? Again, I don't want to go too deep into these. I wanted to introduce these different funding solutions. They're all real, they're all actual, they're all open for applicants, but we need to get the client in and gather information to see which of these or of many other programs. So this is not an entire list of all the funding options available. It's almost an infinite list, but these are some unique ones that I thought you might benefit from having a prompting, a reminder, or in this case, an introduction. And so we do have an underwriting question from Alfred, and I'll go ahead and answer it. There is no, to the best of my knowledge, there is no minimum credit score for the credit builder loan, to the best of my knowledge. It's certainly designed for those below a 600. I'm not aware that there is a floor or a minimum. All right, so who has questions, comments, concerns before we wrap up our training today? All right, we'll be back tomorrow morning on Friday. We'll have our funding committee Saturday morning. So if you have any clients that are already enrolled, let's do all we can to get them in on the agenda for Saturday. If you have prospects, let's use your link and get them enrolled, and we could possibly get them into the funding committee as early as this Saturday, or worst case scenario, next Wednesday. All right, well, we'll see everyone back tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.